The chair now recognizes the gentlelady from Florida, Ms. Luna, for 5 minutes.
The Council on Environmental Quality, CEQ, was created to oversee agency compliance with NEPA. Like most government offices, the CEQ has expanded its mission beyond the scope of what it was originally intended to do by working to implement radical social change and eco-justice, and I quote, initiatives. This has been seen time and time again since Biden first took office by issuing many executive orders, which President Biden's rule by fiat approach has charged CQ with ensuring that the radical social change and eco-justice initiatives being pushed by far-left environmentalists become a reality regardless of the negative impact that these decisions will have on Americans across the country. Like all Americans, I believe in protecting our environment. However, environmental protection does not necessarily have to come at the cost of livelihoods of Americans' families through countless executive orders that have done literally nothing to help those people and actually nothing to protect our environment. The Justice 40 initiative was created by Executive Order 14008 to direct 40% of certain federal investments to disadvantaged communities, which are not even properly defined. In fact, all federal agencies must identify programs that fall under the Justice 40 initiative and implement reforms to those programs. Ms. Mallory, would you be able to define what a disadvantaged community is for me?
Thank you, Congressman, for that question. The way that we define it is using our climate and economic justice screening tool, which is a mapping tool that actually looks at various criteria related to the burdens that the communities experience and the socioeconomic level. So when you look at the map, it will show you what the communities that we think are disadvantaged and most in need of impact.
What are typically those communities? What do they typically look like on average?
Those communities are actually spread all across the country. They're in urban areas, they're in rural areas, they're in every state. That's the way that the map is set up.
Okay, how can CQ then, which chairs this initiative, direct federal agencies to implement these changes when you guys don't actually properly define what constitutes a disadvantaged community?
As I said, the map defines what a disadvantaged community is, and what the agencies do is then look at their own programs that are under the Justice 40 initiative and see how they can
So it's open into interpretation based on
the
the
map
data.
is not open to interpretation.
No,
it's
I'm
a map.
saying that agencies, when they implement policy, it's open into their interpretation based on the data that they're given, correct, under Justice 40?
The agencies are using the specific programs that are identified under Justice 40 to apply it to those circumstances.
With the map?
With the map.
With the term that's not defined.
The map is the definition.
Got it. So my next question would be, we saw recently that President Biden wants to build an 8,000-mile train that stretches across the Pacific and Indian Oceans. And my question for you is, how are you going to preserve our oceans and protect endangered species when he wants to build this?
I'm not really familiar what you're talking about, Congressman. What
Oh, you
train?
didn't hear that? Did anyone hear that? The Biden 8,000-mile rail that stretches across the Pacific and Indian Ocean?
I think he announced it this week.
Oh, yeah, he announced it this week. I just wanted to see what your perspective would be on protecting marine life with that.
I can't comment on that. I'm sorry, I don't have any details.
Okay. Do you know what resources would take for this to actually be built?
I don't know anything about this project.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Chairman. I yield my time.